Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Firdaus bin Mahudin. I am from class AS 2551A. I'm sure everyone have heard about the plant taxonomy, but before I share with you about the plant taxonomy, we need to know what is plant taxonomy. Plant taxonomy or classification is the science of naming organisms and placing them in a hierarchical structure, each of level being given a name. Before we go through this topic, we need to know what the term being used in plant taxonomy. Firstly, is taxon. Taxon is a population of organisms that has been grouped together by taxonomists. The second one is a binomial nomenclature, a two-part of a system of naming species, and species are referred to their genus and name followed by their species name. The third one is a taxonomy hierarchy. An order group of taxonomy rank used to classify organism from general to specific. And the last one is taxonomy rank, a level of a group of organism in taxonomy hierarchy. Alright, the next is the process of taxonomy, which is collecting, sorting, naming, and classifying. And now, I want to introduce to the person who found about the plant taxonomy. The person is Theophratus, was a student of Aristotle. He is the first person wrote about classification of all known plants in the Historia Plantarum, which is contain 488 species. Based on the habit, he classified the plant into four groups, with herbs, undershrubs, shrubs, and tree. But next, in the 18th century, the Swedish scientist Carolus Linnaeus, or well known as father of taxonomy, more or less invited our modern system of taxonomy and classification. He was the person who proposed an orderly system to classifying organisms. He developed the binomial system of name in plants in 753. Unlike his predecessor Linnaeus, adhered rigidly to the principle that each species must be identified by a set of names, which are terms, the genus and species, and classified on their basis of their similarity and difference. The next is the system of classification plant. The classification system can be divided into four kinds. The first one is artificial system. This is the earlier system of classification which were based on or few easily observable characters of plants, such as habits like tree, shrubs, or floral characters, particularly the number of them. The second one is the mechanical system. The system uses one of a few selected taxonomy characters to group the texture. The third one is the natural system, which is the system of classification are based upon overall resemblance, mostly in gross morphology, to utilizing as many taxonomy characters as possible to group taxa. And finally, the phylogenetic system. The system of classification were based on overall character known to that time, and emphasis were laid down to depart on phylogenetic relationship of the plants. The next is the classification system. There are two ways of system that have been used until today. The first one is the traditional system, which is used by using phonetic method. Phonetic method taxonomy is a system of classification based on the overall character. Similarity, which is by homology and analogy. The next one is the modern of or phylogenetic system, which the cladogram phylogenetic classification is based on the study of the evolutionary relationship of the organism. Phylogenetic system shows that evolutionary relationship of organism in the form of cladogram. There are differences between homology and analogy. Homology structures are evidence that organisms have evolved from common ancestor, but different to analogy, which analogous structure have no known common ancestor that are independently called homophylesis. As we know, the taxonomy group, there are three kinds of taxonomy group. The first one is monophyletic taxon, which the group that includes an ancestral species and all its descendants. The second one is paraphyletic taxon, which is the group that contain a common ancestor and some but not all of its descendants. And the last one is polyphenol detection. Polyethylene detection is a group that consists of several evolutionary lines, not including the most recent common ancestor of the including lineage. A cladogram is used in scientists studying phylogenetic system to visualize the group of organisms being, compare how they are related and their most common ancestor and cladogram, as said monophyletic. The plant are grouped into groups with similar characteristics for the series, rank, and groups are considered categories or texture and form of the taxonomy system. The range taxonomy categories from species to kingdom form a hierarchy kingdom with the highest level in the classification. For example, the plant kingdom is followed by phylum, which divide plants into two types, angiosperm and gymnosperm. We have an order group that relate plant family and classify in the order is divided into families. These are plants with botanical features. In the comma that we have genus, all plants having the same generic names and belong to the same genus and have a similar characteristic and closely relate. And also the last one is the species with the highest level or that defines an individual plant. Now let's look at the example in this slide. This is male or known as a common plant. For the kingdom is Plantae, and for division phylum is Magnetophila, is following front. For class is Leucida. For order is Cryptida and Posea. The genus is Ziomes, and the last one is nomenclature blind. Is the foundation for uniform worldwide identification of material and about condition bar. Then the international code nomenclature for cultivated plant provide a guideline for the nomenclature. The system of scientific nomenclature used was developed by Callinus. The plant named as binomial because they consist of two names, which is genus and species. Each name of this plant have a valid scientific name and the genus name describe the type of plant. For example, oak and bush. The species name described in the word with genus, and the genus is always capitalized, and the species in the never became both by genus and species name was underlying or italicized. I hope you all enjoy from my topic. That's all from me. Thank you.